Hey everybody, and thanks for checking back in with the channel. If you're new here, I do a lot of random stuff, mostly related to skateboarding and RC cars. And if you're a returning viewer, then you know exactly what this video is for. This is my 1 month review of my SCX24. Started off as a C10 and still looks like a C10, but certainly has some decent modifications to it. And I still have some plans moving forward, but I figured I'd check back in and let everybody know what I thought for the month that I've had it so far. So buckle up and stay tuned for my 1 month review. Oh. So let's start with just an overview of the truck. In the month I've had it, I haven't even driven it. Take a look at those tires. They've never even seen the floor, let alone dirt. Just kidding. This is the stock one that I just opened up the other day. Let me actually review what I have done to my SCX24. Ah, there it is. This is my SCX24 that I've had for 5 or 6 weeks, but one of those weeks I was on vacation, so I don't think it counts. Take a look at the obviously not so great cuts on the body. The first modification that I did to this truck was added 3.5 gram weights to all 4 wheels. The second thing that I did is right after I did that, I put on my Proline Hyrax tires, which make a huge difference over stock. Notice there's some extra wires in the cab too. We'll get to that in just a second, but first I want to finish some of the other modifications that I've done. On the side profile view that you see here, there's no front bumper. I got rid of the front bumper entirely. I didn't think it was necessary. And the next thing that I did after that was added a brass rear diff cover. You can check out my how-to video on that linked here. I think it's time to open up the hood and talk about what I changed underneath, because this is where some of the bigger changes actually are. First and foremost, right in front of your face is the Emax servo. And for anybody who's been watching my videos, you already know that I did this because I put a how-to video out on how to do this. The difference between stock is amazing. I also always said that I didn't mind the steering slop, but once I got rid of the stock servo and could actually notice the slop, it made a huge difference. And I do have an aluminum link on here, but the diff cover that I want for the front is on back order, and I'm waiting until that's back so that I could do those both at once. The next big thing I did was actually chop the chassis rails off. I was so sick of the Emax servo not clearing despite being clipped that I figured, why not just get rid of them? You can actually see pretty clearly in this video that I ended up putting some black Sharpie with some clear coat nail polish over it to help seal it all back up, so hopefully that should prevent any issues. I figured that this was a totally fair thing to do since I wasn't running the bumper anyways. Next on my list was to try to get a better weight distribution, so I actually moved the battery pack off to the front. You'll also notice that I took the sticker off my motor. I heard that the sticker retains a bit of heat, and I decided that I didn't even want to risk it. Might as well just take the sticker off. It was very easy and simple to do. With the battery up front, that meant that the ESC and receiver actually had to move to the back. And I flipped mine around for 2 reasons. 1, because it was easier to run my light switch. And 2, because the Emax servo has such a long cord that I figured that this would make better use of that long cord. I still need to clean the wires up a little bit, but my top priority was just to get it running before I make it all look pretty. And that brings me to the lights. I moved the lights from their stock location, the bumper, to the spot in the body where the light should actually go. And I ran a switch that uses the 3rd channel on my stock remote to be controlled. You can actually see the switch taped to the top of the body and the wires running down there. And this allows me to keep the hinges, and I don't have to worry about unplugging and replugging the lights in every time I open the body, and also allows me some control over the lights themselves. And that's about all of my thoughts for my C10. The biggest thing that I need to do to this still is fix the slop in the steering links and also get a brass front diff cover on there. That's going to be the biggest modification that I have planned for this. And then I think I'm just going to let it ride for a little while. Of course, we've got some plans this summer. I think that in the next couple weeks, we're finally going to begin our outdoor course. And the other thing that I'm super excited for is to compare this to my stock C10, which still has not even been ran yet. So that'll be a fun video series on the way. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, all that stuff that helps the algorithm. And I am gonna be back, of course, with more videos in the future. Thanks everybody for watching.